So I just want to put up a sound sample. Nice sensitive mic there. Finally figured out how to use this carotid mic. So obviously it was amplified. Put this together over a couple of days. I had a nice piece of bamboo. I still have a small piece of it left, or probably enough for one more flute. This is in low C. I turned the mouthpiece on my lathe. It's, I believe it's poplar. Bacote fetish here. And I just used a piece of leather for the nest. I find that has worked well for me in the past. When you're working with bamboo, it's pretty forgiving. This was actually an old piece of bamboo that I bought at a Pier 1 Imports years ago. So it's probably, from Asia somewhere. But it has a real nice, even bore. So the main bore is an inch, and you see the inner bore there. That's this joint here. I drilled that out to 3/4 of an inch. It's the biggest drill bit I had. And so it's interesting. I thought, well, I won't be able to tune it right. The bore's going to be uneven. That's certainly not the case. I was able to get it in tune. It took me about 3 hours to tune it to A440. And it's very close. It's certainly, obviously you heard the background pad there with the tempura and some synth. And it plays in tune to something like that. So that's what I was after. I was thinking about decorating it, but I don't know. I think it looks okay. I basically stripped off this finish on here, and of course the finish down the middle, and then this right here. Of course, I whittle this down flat so that you have a nice flat place to put your true sound hole and your wind way here. The natural joint here becomes a separation between the slow air chamber and the main body of the flute. So I will, if you'll forgive me here for 1 second, we'll just show you some of the how it tuned up. Okay. So there is your tuner, okay? If you're looking for one, this is probably the best one I've ever found that's kind of affordable for just a hobbyist musician. I mean, you can get crazy stuff, but this is very accurate, and it's really been helpful. So it's a Korg orchestral tuner, an OT120. You can do all kinds of different settings with it, different temperaments and stuff like that. It's really been a fine addition. So here I'll do it. I'll play all the fundamental certainly is on, and it's both in the lower and the higher octave. It's interesting how, air pressure, the warmth of the flute, all that kind of stuff changes your pitch. But it's certainly pretty much dialed in. And again, so what you do is, once you lay out your holes, you drill a very small hole, and that begins the process. And then I used a metal rod that I had tapered the end of it, and I heat it with a torch, and then you just slowly burn in the hole size, okay, as you play it, and that registers your your pitch, And so what happens is you'll get up to a certain size, and then you'll start kind of undercutting. So you'll take your hot iron and you'll burn on the inside to take away material from the inside to get it to bring it into tune. So an interesting exercise for sure. Um, I would love to be a master flute builder. It is not easy. Even though this is very forgiving, bamboo is a great material to work with. It does give you a more reedy sound, but as far as ease of working and stuff, I just think it's really nice. Although I'm thinking about trying to get back into it and start building, um, but it's a challenge, one worth pursuing though. So thank you for listening, and happy playing.